This is Mr. Black Magic 314, and he's here to show you his Gravekeeper deck.
Alright, let's get right into the cards. First off, you run the 3 Spy, obviously. 2500 defense, and starts off the combo with Descendant. I almost always go for Descendant when I first get the Spy to get that guaranteed pop of a card. Like, some people like to go Recruiter because they have Descendant in your hand, but I personally go for the Descendants. So from the 3 Spy, run the 3 Descendants. I think you kind of have to run 3 just because he's like the thing that like gets over any problem cards. And 2000 attack with the field spell is not bad. And you know he's level 4, so you can go into Exceeds if you kind of have some tough monsters you need to get over. From there you have the 3 Commandant.
You think 3 is too much?
No, but sometimes I do see Necro Valley too much in this deck. Just because, you know, he always searches Necro Valley, but he can be 21, like, so he can kind of be like a Cyber Dragon in a way. So I kind of like the 3. I just wish I didn't have to run 3 Necro Valleys, but you always want to run 3, or you always want to see Necro Valley, so you got to run 3 Commandants, so you always see Necro Valley. From there, I only have 2 Recruiters. I think you only need 2 though, because the way I run the deck, like I said, like I always go for Descendant first. So whenever I do get to get Recruiter off Descendant, I think it's kind of like just lucky. So I only run 2, but like it's a good card because it searches out this Commandant. Then you get your Necro Valley. So with the 2 Recruiters and the 3 Commandants, you almost always have Necro Valley first turn.
Have you ever overlaid with those guys before?
You can, I mean, but it's never gonna happen because you just have the 2. You're not gonna go double Recruiter into the Zen mains. You're not gonna go Recruiter Sangan in the Zen mains because those both will get you pluses if you don't if you just let them go to the graveyard themselves. So don't really overlay the rank 3s anymore. So I'm not too worried about that. But the 2 Recruiters, 1 Assailant, just because can be 2000 with the field spell, and he's got a really nice effect. If he can be the answer to Zen mains, honestly, like if you don't have like say you have Necro Valley out and they have a Zen mains out, and you have a couple Gravekeepers but not an Descendant, so you can't just keep popping Zen mains. You can attack with Assailant, switch that Zen mains to attack mode, and then just have your other weak monsters, because Zen mains is only 15, and if you have Necro Valley out, every monster you have is going to be over 15. So he's a really good card. I only run 1 though because I only have 1. Like I was thinking about going out and getting another one, but for now I only run the 1. And right now, in place of the other Assailant, I run the 1 Guard. So, but Guard is really good, so that's what's kind of stopping me from going to get another Assailant. Because Guard is kind of like a Compulse in a way, but it's also a monster. So I like to run, like a lot of people don't like to run high monsters and Gravekeepers, but I like to always have a monster in my hand. I hate not being able to play a card. So, and he can be his 24 defense with Necro Valley out, so you can just sit there if they attack over it, and you flip a card and you don't have a Descendant yet, so or you can just return their monster and just, you know, see if they can get over it. But he's also a level 4 too, so you can also anyway, you can also overlay if you need to. So I run the 1 Assailant or Guard. From there, I just found out about this card. I'm really liking it. 1 Visionary.
Why do you only run 1?
Reason being is he can be a dead draw at times because if you don't have a Gravekeeper already on the field, you're not going to be able to play him. So I don't like having cards in my hand that I can't use. So I run the 1 just because if you do get him off, it can just be good game. Like he's already 2000, and he obviously you tributed a Gravekeeper to get him on the field, so that's 22 because he gets an extra 200 for every Gravekeeper in the graveyard.
How many Gravekeepers do you usually get in the graveyard?
He usually, by the time you get Visionary out, you at least have like 6 Gravekeepers in the graveyard. So that's an extra 1200. Plus he gets an extra 500 from Necro Valley. So this guy's a beast. I only run the 1 though, just so you don't have too many dead cards in your hand. That's it for the Gravekeepers. That's 14 Gravekeepers. From there, I run Sangan, One, because it searches out Spy. No other card in his deck searches out Spy, and you really need Spy to get your combo going. So you run the one Spy. And the last two cards, I run two Malefic Cyber Dragons, just because 4,000. He's my favorite card. It's so easy to bring out. People don't like really expect it. You can easily go for a game with it, and they work their hardest to get over Malefic Cyberend, and that's not even your real engine of the deck. And by the time they get over Cyberend, you can just be like, all right, well now I have a Visionary or I have a Spy, I can just pop the other cards. But Cyberend is just my favorite card, and he's so versatile in every deck that uses the field. So
A lot of people take him out.
He's vulnerable. The only way I never have anybody like smash and ground it or get a monster over it. The only way people get him out is either Dark Hole or they get rid of Necro Valley. But that's a risk I'm willing to take because he's just that good. 3 Necro Valley, like I was saying, sometimes you do see it too often. Like you'd rather have another card in your hand, but you do always want to have it at the same time. So I stick with 3 right now. Maybe in later videos you'll see me with only running 2. Right now I'm sticking with 3. Another card I might take down, Royal Tribute. Like I said, first turn is really good, but I bet because I use it against you so many times. But first turn is really good, but like I said, I run 17 monsters in my deck. Most Gravekeepers only run like 14 monsters in their deck. So sometimes it's like, if I use it, I'm just going to hurt myself. I can't use this card later or whatever. So if I don't have a Stell, I'm kind of hesitant to use Royal Tribute. So in later videos, I might only have the 1. Because I usually do side it out, 1 out anyway. So we'll see how that goes. From there, 2 dualities. You got to do it. You grab your Spy, you grab your Necro, you grab your Royal Tribute if you're set up. You just got to run it. I'll even grab a Cyberend and let them know I have it. Like, you can't special summon that turn, but they're going to still kind of play defensively because they know I have a 4,000 monster that's going to come out next turn. So 2 power dualities, you got to run it in pretty much every deck nowadays. 2 MSTs. A lot of Gravekeepers don't run MSTs anymore because they look at Descendant as the MST to get rid of the back row. But I would rather use Descendant on a monster and not have to worry about the back row because, I don't know. I just would rather use Descendant on a monster. So I use MSTs to bait out the back row so I don't have to waste Descendant. From there, Book of Moon. I mean, that's obvious with Gravekeepers. You can use it to get your Spy off a couple times. You can use it to get your guard off more than once if you need to. You can stop overlays. You can stop synchros. And you can just save your monster if you need to, if your opponent's attacking. Book of Moon is just too good. You gotta run it. I only have 1 Stell, so I only can run 1 Stell. But I'm looking to get another one. This card is just so good. At 3, I think it would be too much, but I really want it at 2 right now. You can just, you really have nothing. You draw on a Stell. Like, oh, okay. I'm going to get my Necro Valley because I'm going to grab a Commandant from my graveyard. I'm going to grab a Spy, and I'm going to be in good shape after that. So Stell just kind of brings you back into games that you're already really down by. And then Heavy Storm just to get rid of back rows. It's self-explanatory. And then Dark Hole, in case you're losing. You like to keep Dark Hole just in case, no matter what the situation is. You always want to have Dark Hole. So that's 17 monsters, 13 spells. 2 Mirror Force. Love this card. September 2012 format lets you use 2. So happy. Like before, people weren't running Mirror Force at all, really, just because it was just a waste of a card. Most of the time it got popped with MST and it was done. But now you can have 2. You can save 1 for game. You can feel free to use the first one. I don't know. Mirror Force and if you already have Spy, you just want to go aggro. You just want to just completely win this game in 1 or 2 turns. All right, Mirror Force. All right, I'm gonna set 2. You set 2 back row to protect yourself because I have something. So flip Spy. If you don't have Solemn, then I'm gonna pop your back row, at least one of them. If you have a torrential, okay, now I have I'm free to summon again because your torrential's out of the way. So Mirror Force is just really good. You gotta have the 2 now that you can run them. 2 Fiendish Chains. I don't want Effect Veiler. I think this card's 10 times better than Effect Veiler. Makes Tour Guide useless. Makes, if they already have Tour Guide, you can Fiendish Chain their Zen mains. So, like, this is just a good card for almost every deck. You gotta run it. Like, I used to run Skill Drain, but because I had the Malefic, but Skill Drain hurts my deck too much, so I think this is a good replacement card for Skill Drain. 1 Torrential. Reason being, I only have the 1 Torrential because I made room for 1 Compulse. Even though I have guard, Torrential doesn't get over cards that you don't want to destroy.
You
so
only run 1?
Only run the 1 because I have the guard, but I used to run the 2 Torrentials, but like Zen mains, nowadays everybody has Zen mains. Everybody. So you gotta have the answer to this. And Stardust. Like, you never know, like, you might mess up in Heavy Storm, they have Starlight, so you have to get over that Stardust. So you just want Compulse just so you can get rid of monsters that you don't necessarily want to destroy. From there, 2 Dark Bribes, just because I don't know, I just like Dark Bribe, like, spells are going to hurt me. It also stops traps, but only downside of Dark Bribe is that it gives them an extra card in their hand. I really don't like that effect. I used to run 3, but then, I realized I'm giving them so many cards in their hand. So I went down to 2 Dark Bribes and changed that 3rd one to 7 Tools. Just negates the traps, but it's still, most of the time Dark Bribe is used on a trap anyway. And I think 7 Tools is a good replacement card also for Solemn, because most of the time people are only, like, me anyway, I don't like to use Solemn unless it's like towards the end of the game, because you don't want to open up like, alright, well, I have control of the field now, but I already lost half my life points. So only time I would use Solemn is like when they use Solemn, and why pay half your life points when you can just pay 1,000 and they still waste half their life points. So I think 7 Tools is really good. I'm really happy about running 1 right now. And then Starlight Road, just because I like to overset. I like to bait out those Torrentials, like to bait out those Mirror Forces, anything. I just really like Starlight Road. First turn Stardust off of Heavy Storm is just almost a good game. So that's my deck. That's 17 monsters, 13 spells, 10 traps, 40 altogether. You want to do the extra deck real quick?
Yeah, we can do the extra deck.
Alright, the extra deck is pretty simple. 3 Sirens, because I run the 2 Malefic Sirens. And the reason you run 3 instead of 2 is because Siren does get compulsed sometimes. You want to be able to resummon them. So you got the 3 Sirens, 2 Stardust, 1 for Starlight Road, and the second for the sided in Malefic Stardust in case I sided in. Gotta be able to play it. So 2 Stardust Dragons. You never synchro into them, never. 2 Utopia, just because I got a lot of level 4s, and Utopia can be a good card at times to use. And I don't know. I put a second one in because I had 13, so I wanted to get a full 15 extra decks. So I put 2 Utopias in. I don't even know how to pronounce this card. I'm gonna call it Photon Butterfly like everybody else does. But she's got a really good effect, like say you're playing against a person who's using a stall deck, like using like Marshmallow. Like that's exactly the example I like to use, because that was when I fell in love with this card, because they were using Marshmallow and I had no answers for it because I didn't have, I overlaid with
How many times have you got this card?